Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? How's your boy? It's me, Jerremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Market is actually still open right now, so keep in mind everything is subject to change due to volatility. But with the SPY, we have an inside day candle at present. Makes sense because we had two huge bullish days back to back on Thursday and Friday, again making new all-time highs. I told you we're going to keep making new all-time highs. I don't see any real reason whether we're not, at least right now. Here's the weekly charts. Great breakouts, good move. Next target for me for this year is 249.01, and I think that's doable. Some kind of, some nice pullbacks, things like that. That just simply means if anyone does have shares of SPY up here, you could consider covered calls, maybe a collar. I wouldn't specifically say you can sell. Maybe you're in some shorter term positions like call options or something, that might be doable. IWM, which is the Russell ETF, the 2000 Russell, here's the IWM, and I like this little retest that we got. Kind of crazy because between Thursday and Friday we did have a retest gap. A little bit of a double bottom here, but for all intents and purposes, this is still quite sideways on the IWM. Got the Iron Condor expiring in 2 weeks. Hopefully that works out. Here's the Qs. The QQQs made a new all-time high today as well. That's pretty much it for the overall indices. I didn't have tons of requests today, so for the ones I did have, let's go ahead and get those rocking and rolling. Here's BBRY. My buddy Tim wanted to look at BlackBerry. We had a weekly options newsletter set up on BlackBerry that we wanted to trigger on this day, the day with the red arrow. We actually did not get triggered by about 3 to 4 cents. So we canceled on that day, and it was going to be a put option, actually. You'll notice, good thing we got it canceled because the very next day it was a huge bullish day. Here's the weekly chart on BlackBerry, and the interesting thing about this fundamentally is the fundamentals on BlackBerry are, disturbingly awful. Here's a really good resistance on BlackBerry, and here's a really, really good support. What we've got to keep in mind, however, is at this particular point in time, it's above all relevant moving averages. Long term, 100, 200, might as well show them to you. But again, this is a weekly chart, right? So you're above the weeklies on the EMAs on the weekly. We're above them on the long term. Here's your monthly chart. And I got a 200 simple and a 100 simple, but those are really, really far away. So really, there's no moving average that's stopping this thing. The only thing that's stopping it is this resistance. Now, is it going to break out or break down? That part I just simply do not know. I will say, and this is going to be shocking, but keep your eyes on BlackBerry to continue higher. It's a good resistance. You have, support right there. Nice little triangle pattern down here. Finally broke out, and it did break out with good volume. That's the other surprising thing. Big resistance right here. So is it going to roll over and trade down? Probably. That's what I'll be looking for, but it doesn't have to. I'm always a perma bear on BlackBerry just because no one really buys their products. But if it can break out, retest, and continue higher, again, this could be a viable breakout here on BlackBerry. It is a stock that I'm keeping an eye on, and it'll be interesting to see if it continues higher. Now, my buddy Albert had a few stocks that he requested. Here's ticker symbol BX and BX Blackstone Group. I love this gap, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very, very strong bullish gap and go on a weekly chart, which doesn't happen all that often when you get a good gap like that on a Monday. But it's a strong, strong level. Been waiting and trying to play it on a daily chart, just never really got a fill. So it is a retest gap on a daily chart. White candle, gapping up. So at any point, if you're looking at playing BX, just simply buy the dip. Here's Etsy by request, ticker symbol ETSY. And Etsy, first and foremost, here's the weekly chart. I think this is a great online store candidate to at some point get bought out. Don't know if and when that happens exactly, but I could see a few companies looking or vying to buy out Etsy. It's also a great store for entrepreneurs, crafty people who want to make a little bit of extra money on the side, selling products that they created or a friend made they want to sell for them. I think Etsy's a great product, great service, great website. I know how they make money. It is a good buy low, sell high. Doesn't pay dividends, of course, but there's some good volume coming in on it. So speaking of that, this is a pretty good gap here. Now, granted, it is out of resistance and it is a retest gap, but for the last pretty much 3 weeks, we have been retesting on Etsy. So if it can keep up that little formation and continue going higher. I do like it bullish. It makes a lot of sense to me, and I dig it. Julian has a bull put spread on Hess, a 45.44 bull put spread on Hess. I like it, Julian. Dean also is in some stock, and he has a covered call at 49.50. Pretty much based on nothing other than this support. Buy low, sell high. It's out of support. Is it going to bounce? Who knows? But if it's a stock that you planned on being in based on that support, one of two things, maybe even one of three things will happen. It'll either bounce, and you'll be happy that you are in. It'll break down, in which case you'll lose an R, or it'll trade sideways from here, right? That's really about it. So you don't really ever want to concern yourself with what a stock's going to do. You want to concern yourself with what you're going to do, because that is what you can control. You can't control what the stock is going to do. You got to be able to control your discipline, your patience, and the approach to your strategy. So I like this support level in Hess. Let's see if it bounces. At this point, Julian looks pretty good. Here's circuit symbol ABT that was also requested, and Abbott Labs. Here's a weekly chart, and Albert, you're absolutely correct. Very, very good resistance right about here. And you do have a pretty nice gap action right over here. That was a black candle gapping down. What type of gap is that, ladies and gentlemen? Retest gap. Did we retest? Yes, we did, and we rolled right over. So really good resistance on Abbott Labs. Also nice little double bottom right here. Good close in that neckline. So on ticker symbol ABT, I don't have any position on this one personally, but if I did, I would expect and or wait for a pullback to about 45, retesting old resistance as new support. And then from there, expecting it to trade higher into this 51 previous all-time high price range. And last but not least for today, here's ticker symbol WHR, which is Whirlpool. Whirlpool and Abbott Labs. Kind of, I know, totally different industries, but pretty similar look right now. We can see Whirlpool definitely in a triangle type of position. So here is your resistance right here. You've got some higher lows right there. Looks pretty good, at least as of present moment. It does appear that it might be on the verge of breaking out, and it'd be interesting to see exactly what she does overall. Here's the daily time frame. In the daily time frame, you have a lot of white candles in a row. I do mean a lot of them. So if you're looking at playing this resistance, right, you don't want to take a breakout because you already have so many white candles in a row. So just like so many stocks, big, nice, gnarly resistance right there. Look to buy the dip, and overall trend is bullish. So if you're looking at going bullish, makes sense. It would be a longer term trade since this pattern is on a weekly chart. Target number one, easily 216. And from there, sky's the limit on Whirlpool as you have a nice trend on all big picture time frames. It's a slow grinder, long term blue chip buy and hold type of stock. Longer term, those are supposed to go higher. I like the fact it's at a resistance. Let's see if it can close, retest, and go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, you can simply request any stocks to look at any time. My email address is jerremy@reallifetrading.com. You can also post them in the comment section below. You can message me on Twitter @Newsome Nuggets. We're also on Instagram. We do the whole social media thing. Make sure to hop over to reallifetrading.com and share this page with your friends. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern begins the new day trading classes, which are live and free. June 6th through the 9th. They're going to start tomorrow. We have a lot of people signed up, but we want more. Our mission is to enrich lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making a dime from people signing up to this website. In fact, I'm actually spending a lot of money hosting it, but I want to do so in order to educate, entertain, and enrich traders from all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in to your Monday Real Life Stock Review. Go Predators tonight for Game 4 against the Penguins. And other than that, you guys rock. I'll see you later. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.